Oh, good afternoon, everyone from London, UK. I'm Natasha Harris.
And I'm Lucy Brand, and we're the co-founders of the Circle of Light movement.
Yeah, we're here today we've got a juicy hot topic for you today. Is
Yes.
really around how to use creativity in your to create the life that you truly desire. So we've just been we always come on laughing a little bit because we always have a bit of a conversation before coming on. But I'm really super excited about this topic of creativity and being the powerful creators of our own desires and our own destinies. So how much do you use creativity in your desires, in your intentions for what you want to create, for the life that you create? Bringing this creative quality, how often do you do that? Or is it very much like structure? It's like, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. And we leave the creativity out of the door. So if you kind of want to enhance your creative abilities, bring those in a little bit more in a playful way, then this is absolutely for you. And we look forward to having this conversation together. So I'll hand over to beautiful Lucy while I just share this out to a few of our groups, and I'll be back with you in a moment.
Yes, so to support exactly what Natasha was saying, I think as well, like, how can we play in creativity? But I also think we need support of the practical. We're both big on practical, and one of the beautiful gifts or beautiful things of being on planet Earth, out of all the planets, is the manifestation. And the manifestation of your creativity, of your self-expression, comes from the practical support that's behind that in getting it out into the world, if that makes sense. So like, it's about, why I see it as like the creativity, the creative genius, the inspiration, whatever it might be, comes from within you, the divine spark, whatever it might be. And then it's your if you choose to, because everything's a choice, you can then birth it into this reality. And what that means is that it shows up in your reality. So if you're, say that you wanted to manifest a new car for whatever reason, it's about the divine ideas that come from within you about how to create from that space playfully to get it to manifest in your reality, and you be driving it.
Yeah, absolutely. We get to choose that. That's the beauty of living in this 3D reality, is that we get to choose it. We are not, have to sit in the sidelines waiting for everyone else to do things for us. We get to step up. And that sometimes requires a bit of confidence, stepping outside of our comfort zone, not quite sure about what the actual results will look like. We don't have a glass ball to look into the future. So we have to take a little bit of a risky step forward in order to create something that we want. But I love this idea and this notion that our life is a canvas. A lot of people describe it as a book. Like, we are writing the chapters as we go, but the whole book, when we get to the end of our lifetime, we look back and we read the book and we're like, wow, look at all the amazing things that we've created and that we've done. So that's why it's always good to really look back at what we've done and see how creative we've been in order to support us how we want to step forward and go forward. We have to take responsibility that it is our life to create. It really is our responsibility. When we give away or hand away our responsibility of our lives, we're just in the sidelines waiting for everything else to fall into place before we're willing to take that step. It is solely your responsibility. And that's a hard one, I think, to swallow. This one has taken me I don't know about you, Lucy, but this one has taken me quite a while to really get that if I want to create something in my life, it is up to me. It's up to me. And that's the long and short of it, is that, and how do we do that? How do we exercise with gentleness, with kindness, this sense of responsibility, that it's not over responsibility. It's a gentleness, a playfulness, a creativity in this way of creating what we truly desire. There has to be a softness to this responsibility, I feel.
Yeah, that just makes some notes there. To add to that, I feel like responsibility's got a bit of a kind of a bad rep, so I think that's why people resist taking responsibility for their actions, for their beliefs, for how they feel about themselves. And then they start blaming others, which just doesn't work. Like, as soon as you take responsibility for your life, it's a game changer. And I think the thing is to make it fun. Like start taking, for example, take responsibility for your finances. Start making it fun. Like, put on some fun music. Like, get up close and personal with them. Or if it's like your health and well-being, like, how can you make it into a game? How can you make it fun? Excuse me. I know that a while ago when I lived in the city, I joined this gym, and the different equipment, you would have, as you move the equipment, you would collect coins. And I got so into it. Like, I got obsessed with collecting the most amount of coins depending on when I went to the gym. And I'm not really a gaming person. And it was just like, but I love this game. And when it made the time fly like that. So it's like, how can you gamify something that makes it fun for you? If it's a new responsibility, because that's the thing, like, we've got to take on these new responsibilities, like fun responsibilities, if you want to create your life. But it's going to be something that you haven't done before, because maybe your parents did it a different way, but you don't want to do it that way. You're going to have to educate yourself and learn how to do it in a different way, which is going to mean stepping out your comfort zone.
Oh, yes.
So if you can do it in a fun, playful way, it's going to be so much easier. Because as Natasha and I always talk about, there's no point in manifesting from a place of lack or fear, because it's going to be really hard, or pushing and striving. You want to embody the amazing person that you are and call your desires to you, not go chasing them. It's such a waste of energy.
Yeah, my goodness, we do a lot of chasing and a lot of running around and like, where is it? Where is it? And it's like literally right there. It kind of reminds me of the Alchemist book. It's like spent years searching and it was right by his feet. You know, it's like how often are we doing that? Scurrying around, busying ourselves because that's productivity and we're not worthy if we're not busy, you know, running around in search of something. What if it was easy? What if actually it was fun? As Lucy says, how can we do things in a fun and playful way that is easy? Yes, there is challenge. We are not here to bypass challenge, bypass the feelings, bypass being not well. You know, these things are going to come up for us, but like, how do we also allow ourselves to be in that energy of creativity when we want to create something and do something? We need to be aligned to the energy of what we want to create. We really do, because otherwise, how can we manifest it? It's like Lucy says, you know, when we're in this lack energy, how can we possibly attract abundance? But if we get yeah.
Sorry, I was going to say, like, you might attract it in a split second, but then you'll lose it all again because you don't have the capacity to stay at that frequency.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, you might do that really quickly, or you'll be just really pushing. And then there's the fear that's added to losing it. So when you create abundance, you create success, the money, usually we're talking about money in that sense. When we create it through so much hard work, so much effort, we are afraid to ever stop for fear of losing it. So it doesn't matter how much we have in the bank, how much we are on paper successful and rich, we just keep going and we deplete ourselves further and further. We alienate our relationships and we don't have an easy life. We don't have an abundant life, because abundance isn't just about money. Abundance creates choices that allows for the abundance of, you know, all the things we want, but money doesn't equate to the abundance. We are already incredibly abundant in all sorts of ways. So when we focus on who we are, what we have, all the gratitude towards what we already have, we can only attract more of it.
Yeah, and I think I want to add to that the gratitude piece. So, like, sometimes I feel that if you're not in a place of gratitude, you can use that as a stick to beat yourself with. It's like, oh, I need to be grateful for this to attract more money. I need to be grateful for the pound in my bank account when I'm really skinned, you know? Yeah. And then it doesn't work, because like we said, you're manifesting, you're not really grateful. Are you feeling it? Oh, I'm not going to say that. Are you feeling it in your body? I was going to say something else. If you're feeling it in your body, in your nervous system, like if you're not feeling it, it's not going to happen. If you're like, oh, I'm so grateful, but you're not feeling it, then the universe knows. You can't lie to the universal energies. They're going to be like, well, she's not feeling that, so we're not going to give her any more. That's how it works.
Yeah.
So it's like, and that's okay. If your life completely sucks right now and you're not feeling grateful, own that. Take responsibility for that, because that's a great place to start from.
Yeah.
And like, you may think that everyone's got it all together, but I guarantee they haven't. Like, I guarantee there's at least one area of their life that isn't how they would like it to be. And maybe it's not the same area as you, but so like, but to start, you need to acknowledge where you are. And if you're not feeling grateful for something, you're not feeling grateful, own that, and then acknowledge it, and then move through it so that you can get to the place of gratitude. But I also think with that, it's like, I don't know, we're told a lot to like be heart-centered and with our hearts, but I also think with creating your own life comes having healthy boundaries. And that means not just having your heart chakra fully open and giving, because again, from that place, you'll probably deplete your energy and you'll probably get resentful. So it's about putting healthy boundaries in place so you can create the life you want. It's actually about putting you first, like making you a priority. And when you do that, and when you create from that abundant place, because your cup's overflowing with love and time and energy, that's when it becomes easy. That's when you dance with life. That's when you manifest everything you want. You just think about it and then it appears.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I that really brought a very strong image for me, as you said, you know, this heart-centeredness. And I think what so many people who are in the spiritual communities about being heart-centered, it's outward, it's all about other people. And it is predominantly about self-love, heart-centered, overflowing you and then allowing it to outflow to other people. And this is something, especially for women, is not easy to do. It's not what we've been taught that's okay to do. It's selfish, it's egotistical, it's all of these things, and it's sinful and you mustn't do it. And it's like, how can you possibly? But actually, you know, this is what we teach in our community. It's put yourself first and you are overflowing. And it's a cliche, but we all know it, but are we actually doing it? And this idea of, you know, coming back to the gratitude of things, is it's called a gratitude practice, because all of these things are a practice. This is not something you get to kind of go, yeah, I'm great at that, done it all, done, dusted, don't need to do it again, and I've got it all sorted. You know, it's holding it in your heart. It's holding that gratitude for, you know, when the times are tough, even if you're starting at ground zero and you've got no idea of what the next step is being grateful for what you have right now, because whatever you feel or however in lack you feel, it will be something more than what the next somebody else doesn't have. And it's not about saying, oh, I should be lucky, I have more than someone else, but it's just being able to be in that deep gratitude. Today, just as a simple thing, I was like, went for a coffee and to listen to a client recording, and I went into the coffee and he spent a meticulous amount of time doing me this like beautiful little design on the top of my coffee, and I just saw his like the attention that went into it as he was doing it, and I was filled with gratitude. And I was just like, every sip of that coffee, I'm going to sip with gratitude right now. And I sat, and I can't tell you, it was like the most enjoyable cup of coffee, because it was, and I posted it on my Instagram, because it's like, I could see how much love went into making that cup. And I was just filled with gratitude for being able to drink a cup of coffee that was made with so much love, so much attention, somebody's joy and pleasure at being creative on top of a cup of coffee. And I was like, I'm not sure I want to drink it. It looks so pretty. I'm going to destroy it with the first sip. So there's, you know, even that to be grateful for was just filled my being with joy.
And I think that's it. You've got to start where you're at. You know, you've got to start where you're at. And everyone started there at some point in their life.
Yes,
You
certainly
know?
did.
And I also think, like, to your point, like, I was like, do we actually know to put ourselves first? I don't know whether people actually know that. Like, I don't think, I've never been taught that in school or by society. Like, I've always been taught put everyone else before myself. So it's like, I like to say it's about getting on the no train. Like, and that's just, it's really hard at first. If you've said yes, yes, yes to everything, and then you're just, as I was burnt out and exhausted when I was doing that, and I had no boundaries. I was getting screwed left, right, and center. Like, so it's like, get on that no train, because the thing is, when you say, like, you're going to feel, well, from experience, I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do if I say no to them? I say, no, I don't, I've built this up in my head. I've been sweating about it. I'm stressing about it. And then I say, like, oh, I don't really want to do that. And they're like, okay, that's fine. They move on. And you've spent this whole time stressing and worrying about it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, because how I would receive that, if I'm on the other end of that and someone says, no, I don't want to do it, I respect that boundary. And I go, okay, I'll find someone else that has the time, that's passionate about it, that wants to do it. I don't want someone who doesn't want to do it. I don't want that energy in the pot of something that I'm creating, because again, that's going to make it so hard to manifest from that space. So you're actually doing me a disservice if you're saying yes when you really mean no. And that, I think that's what people don't understand about this. It's like, oh, I feel obligated to say yes. No, I feel offended. Like, if you don't want to do something, especially someone like me and probably Natasha as well, like, we can pick up on energy. So when someone says to me yes and they really mean no, I'm like, oh, how do I get out of this one then? Politely, without telling them to their face, like, why did you lie to me? Like, because I can read it. I can read it in your body language. I can read it in your energy. And so if I can read it, the rest of the world's going to be able to read it if you're creating something with someone else that you're putting out there. So,
and I think that sorry.
I was just going to say, so yeah, healthy boundaries, all about it.
Yeah, I think that comes back to responsibility as well, is that when we feel bad about saying no to someone, we want to put the responsibility on them to get out of it. And that's not fair. Like, that really isn't fair. And I totally agree with you, Lucy. I feel it. And I think there's an opportunity as well in terms of being creative and, playful and making it easy for people. So, let us know in the comments, like, how easy do you find it to say no to people? What about this is resonating with you? Do you have a question, like something we're saying that doesn't make sense? Please pop them in the comments, and, type hashtag replay if you're watching on the replay, and we'll come back to you, because I see a few people watching. But it's like, be creative with your no. It's like, what else could you offer them? It's like, I've learned to say no with love. It's like, I don't think I'm the best person. As Lucy said, like, I don't think I'm the best person to help you with this. Maybe this person is. And like, people are like, oh yeah, you're probably right. So it's like being a bit creative with your no in a way that, still supports the other person, but doesn't make it their responsibility then to fix it and make you feel better about saying yes to something you really don't want to do, because that's what's going to end up happening. And it's going to be an icky exchange of energy. The thing you're trying to do together is just going to be tough. So it really does come back to being, doing things with love, with creativity, with joy, thinking outside the box of like, yeah, I have to say yes to everything, and how it depletes you, really.
Yeah, and then you don't have any energy, for creativity then, and like, or time, like, and I don't mean time in the literal sense of man-made time. I mean like time for you to just be and receive the divine ideas or the divine inspiration for your life. And when you start to say no and put healthy boundaries in place, it just, again, it's making you a priority. And I think there's so many areas in our lives where we could start to make ourselves a priority. And it could just be saying no to one commitment that doesn't bring you joy, and then watch the ripple effect of how it impacts every other area of your life. And it's a game changer. It's an absolute game changer.
Totally. It really truly is. So it's really, your life is your canvas. Like, what do you want to create? How do you want to create it? What energy do you want to put into it? What's like, how do you want to feel when you've created it? You know, we forget to dance in the energies of things. We're so focused on the physical doing part, getting to the end and going, oh, this is going to be amazing. And we've not really thought about the creative process and the ease of it, the joy of it, the things that we want to feel. Like, how often do we get to something and go, yeah, I've created my desire, and it's all a bit flat? You know, I've done that in the past where, you know, it's just felt like, oh, it was so much effort and hard work to get to this point, and I was supposed to have all these feelings, and I don't really know what they were supposed to be, and I just feel a bit flat now. It's like we've forgotten to be in that joy process of creating. And, you know, when we add a little bit of sparkle to that creativity process, everything becomes more fun, more easy, more flowing, more, I don't know, expansive, whatever the experience is that you want to have, that you want to sprinkle that desire with, and then align your thoughts, your feelings, your action to that. Allow everything to become in alignment. Be creative with what you're thinking. Be creative and aware of what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and what you're doing. All these things need to be in alignment, and we need to do it consistently.
And also collaboration. Invite people to collaborate with you, you know, because then you get different energies in the pots, you get different perspectives, you get different ways of looking at stuff. Like, you really don't have, this new paradigm is all about collaboration and unity and working together as a collective to create a much lovelier life based on equality. So who else could you invite? Like, and then again, like, if they say no, like, don't worry about it. It's not personal to you. It's not a reflection on you. And don't let that discourage you. Then ask. What I would do in that situation is I ask the universe. I ask the source within me, the divine within me. I say, can you help me? I want people to show up in my life that can help me co-create this. And then just be open. Like, I'm not taking any action. I'm just literally being open and see what happens. Like, it'll be weird. You'll get a WhatsApp message, you'll get an email, you'll get a phone call from someone who'll be like, oh, I was thinking about you. Like, I was just thinking of creating this, but I don't know where to start. And you have these skills that I don't have. I just wondered if you wanted to do it. And then it's like, boom. That's what happened with Natasha and I. But like,
Yes.
yeah, it's like just it's that being element and being open, but being creative in the first place of just being like, oh, how can I bring more fun into this? And normally that is with other people.
Yeah. And there's always other people involved. You know, don't worry if you're not like at the heart of wanting to be, you know, in big community crowds and you want to work with people, you know, don't worry about that. But, you know, we are always co-creating with others. So, you know, how are you interacting with those people that you're co-creating something? You know, even if you're doing a business and you're like, I just want to run it on my own, I don't want to partner with someone, that's fine. Or, you know, you don't want to be in a relationship and that's a choice, that's fine, but you're still co-creating everything in your life with others and others around you. So just thinking about how those energies are. So don't think that we have to, you know, if that's not your style, then you have to be able to surround yourself with people all the time. Some of us get quite depleted by that as well, but it is about co-creating. We really are. This is how we're going to change and shift the paradigm. And it's been just such a beautiful co-creation with Lucy. And we just love having these conversations. So, you know, if there's anything that resonates with you, let us know. Ask us. We love having a conversation. We love, if there's something you want to know that doesn't quite make sense, we can do another live around it. Let us know in the comments. We'd welcome you to come and join us on all the different social media platforms that we have: Instagram, YouTube, Facebook here on Facebook, and everywhere else. So
yeah, and if you'd like to join our community, then doors are open. And where it was basically where we support you in making yourself a priority whilst deepening your spirituality at the same time. So it really is in a really safe, beautiful community where, you know, you're never judged. And also it's just, everyone in there is so unique that, like, it's just a beautiful melting pot of, like, I think I would go so far as to maybe say people that felt like different to a lot of other people, so they didn't feel safe in sharing or showing up, like, and that's what we want to cultivate, a safe space where you feel safe to talk about things, share your understandings and your feelings, however weird society or other people might deem them.
Yeah, absolutely. And together, you know, we rise, together we become stronger, together we support each other, and we all need a little bit of support and, you know, guidance. And Lucy and I do lots of healing, meditations, you know, masterclasses in there with experts every month. So yeah, come and join us. There's loads to get you started. And if you just want to hang out with beautiful, like-minded people, then do check out our website, www.circleoflightmovement.com. And the other thing that I just want to quickly add is that we are doing a series of free masterclasses. We're going to be doing them every month going forward. If you just head over to the Eventbrite link in the post above or below and sign up there, there will be new dates added as we go. There are 3 dates there for now, but new dates will be added. If you can't join those live, sign up anyway. You'll have 24 hours to watch the replay, and there'll be a little special something in there for you as well if you do. So thank you so much, beautiful souls, for watching us, for joining in the conversation. And we'll be back again next week, same time, 1 p.m. UK time, every Thursday. So thanks for watching.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.